This jellyfish right here is so cute how they're peeking over the window. Hey, friends, here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion. In today's episode, we'll be going towards right round station. You spin me right round, baby, right? I'm sorry, this Let's Play's been bringing out the musical side of me. Please defeat all enemies before time runs out. The ink switch will react to your ink. Use the ink switches to bring enemies closer or push them back. This is a level that I struggled with during Octo Expansion Versus. So hopefully we don't get a repeat of that in this video. Alright, so let's take care of you, and you probably want to take care of the snipers first because they're going to be your biggest threat. So my best strategy for this is have the balloon fish blow up so that this thing will spin fast. That will make it so you don't have to worry about continuously firing at this thing. And just focus on one at a time. Don't try to get them all in one bunch because you'll more often than not miss them all, and that's not great for our goal for this level. Also, Tenta missiles are also very nice as well, because they will target all enemies you lock on, but they won't work if the thing is still moving, so definitely keep that in mind. Alright, let's blow this up. Take care of you. We got one of them, but that's better than nothing. And we lost our armor. How sad. I'll wait for you to go around, and boom! Alright, we can probably use the Tenta missiles on the rest of them. Wow, that was really easy. This seems to be one of those things where you're either going to have the best luck in the world or you're going to struggle terribly. So that's pretty interesting. There are new entries in the chat log, so I sent them along. Check them out sometime. Alright, so real talk. I gotta talk about Octo Expansion real quick. So, looking back on these different projects that I've been involved in, usually reminds me of where I was at that point in my life and things like that. Like, for example, Wind Waker and Earthbound, those Let's Plays were done the year that I started going to college. Or Skyward Sword was done the year that I became an adult and things like that. And just general things like that. Like, I'm probably going to look back on Splatoon 2 and Majora's Mask 3D as, like, the Let's Play that I was doing when I got accepted into the Disney College program or things like that. We jumped down before we activated George or anything like that. So, going back to my train of thought, can you please get a top? Okay, fine, whatever. There we go. What? Get out of the switch and then good. Oh, it's this level. Okay, that's gonna be fun. I may need to put that story on hold because I think this is one I'm gonna need to concentrate on. Wow. George, you're just not wanting to listen today, are you? Go this way. There we go. And activate the switch. So basically the big gimmick with this level is you're going to be activating the 8-ball to go across those platforms over there. And there are going to be some ink switches you need to activate so that you'll be able to make it to its goal. If the 8-ball falls, then you're going to explode, and that's not very pleasant at all. But anyway, we can go over here, and it's the final checkpoint. So let's head over here and activate the switch. That didn't work. I was too slow getting on top of the rail. Let's try that again. Hopefully this time without fail. Let's do that. Jump on top of here and activate the switch. Alright, we deactivated that one. And I think there's going to be one more, maybe, perhaps. Yep, there is. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, we got rid of you. And we did it. Okay. So, going back to that story, like I was saying, looking back on these projects reminds me of that point in my life. So, Octo Expansion Versus was done at a bit of a weird time. So, I'd rather not go into too many details right now, but long story short, I was living in a household to help take care of a family member, and let's just say that it wasn't exactly the easiest thing to record at that time. Um, like I said, I'm not going to be going too far into details or anything like that, but let's just say it was a family emergency. That was the reason why I was living there. And Octo Expansion Versus is known as pause the versus between everybody. And the family emergency is mostly the reason why that was the case. So it was also really hard to concentrate on playing the game during that versus because of all that stuff going on, and it wasn't exactly the most easiest thing to look back on. So that's the reason why Octo Expansion Versus is the one that I look back on the least fondly between all the stuff that we've done so far on the channel. But I've been really enjoying the Let's Play. I've been really enjoying taking my time doing this as my own sort of solo project. It's always fun recording a versus project for the game channel, but it's a very different atmosphere than recording a Let's Play. And also, this is one of those levels where if you take any damage, then you're not going to have a good day. Also, there's NES consoles and controllers and cartridges in the background. That's always pretty fun. Alright, so this level is a pretty interesting one. We've seen something like this before where we need to dodge out of the way of these attacks for 30 seconds. This one seems a little bit more challenging than the previous one. Either that or I'm just having the worst luck in the world right now. So the basic strategy is going to be the same. You want to barely move out of the way of these attacks, so you don't have to go too far. That's just something that helps me whenever I'm going through this area, and also the bowling balls, maybe a bit of a blessing in disguise, because they, more often than not, will block the shots of the sniper. McFly. Marty McFly. Back to the Future. That's a good movie. Yo, what's taking Marina so long? That reminds me. We can check in on AIDS using our video link, but you can't see us, right, Cap? That's correct. So you probably can't tell, but just between you and me, Marina's kind of a weirdo. She's like freakishly tall and way too smart for her own good. That's not the proper grammar. Pearl, how could you? Just the other day, she built an entire battle stage all by herself. It had huge floating rocks and everything. Crazy, right? Making rocks float. That's Octo Tech. What do you mean? You know the Octarian Menace? You mean those guys who lost the Great Turf War forever ago? We learned about them in school, but, like... Hold up, you're not saying Marina's working for the Octarian Army, are you? I think you need to see this. It's from my top secret Octarian dossier. Age 6, enrolled in the elementary training program at Slimeskin Garrison. Age 9, skipped multiple grades, took only advanced courses, graduated. Age 10, member of Flutter design team, fully automated cleansing weapon. Age 13, joined Slimeskin Garrison, specialized in improving great octo weapons. Age 16, assigned to DJ Octavio's Wasabi supply unit, earned multiple commendations. Same year, went AWOL after coming within audible range of the Calamari incantation sung by the new Squid Big Splatoon. According to witness interviews, she said this changes everything before vanishing. Marina Ida. Member of Flutter design team? Those Flutters are ruthless splatting machines that they did in Agent 3 more times than I can count. What? Now, Marina would never design something like that. It's right there in the file. Now that you mention it, Marina is totally obsessed with the scenes, and she's definitely the hardest working person I know. Sounds exactly like the Octos I fought in the war. The battle stage she made involves traps and stuff where you float, and you don't see things like that anywhere else. Only Octarian military has that technology, I'm telling you. Huh. So Marina is involved with the Octarian military. Oh snap, I remember her saying something like the Calamari incantation changing her life, and it's right there in the file. The song has powers no one can explain. No fan of that song is a foe of mine. Right? She might have some skeletons in her closet, but who doesn't, am I right? Marina's one of the best people I know. I guess she's okay for an Octo. I swear, Cuttlefish, if you try to splat Marina, I will cut a fish. You got that? Okay. Good. Keep your head in the game, 8. Alright, so now that we're taking care of all of that, we're gonna end this video off here. Except not really, because we still have some online multiplayer matches to do. So, I'm gonna meet you guys in the imaginary land of alternate save file. Hello, and welcome to the imaginary land of alternate save file. Today we'll be playing it through Kelp Dome on Splat Zones. And once again, huge thank you to the James Girls for helping me record this footage. But now, let's get into the weapons, because today we'll be talking about a new class of weapons, the brush. Ooh, hope you're brushing twice a day. But anyway, the two brushes we'll be talking about in today's video are the Ink Brush and the Octo Brush. They're both pretty interesting. So basically how a brush works in this game is it's basically the closest thing Splatoon has to a sword. What I mean by that is that, sure, you can roll around pretty quickly. Running around with the brush kind of acts like a roller. So when you hold the button, you'll be running around really quickly. This is the fastest that your Inkling can move while actively using a weapon. So if you like getting in and out of danger quickly and having some opponents chase you around while your teammates help cover an area, the ink brush is going to be the weapon for you. Although the main ink brush itself, I'm not that big of a fan of, because yes, it is a very fast weapon, but the unfortunate side effect of it is it's not that great at splatting people. So you're going to have people chase you, and if they're smart people, then they're going to figure out ways to catch up with you and eventually corner you. So you do have the ability to mash the button, and you will take 4 slashes to splat somebody. But when you're up against a powerful weapon like a slosher or something like that, then chances are the ink brush probably isn't going to be the best weapon for combat. But it's not really built for a combat weapon in the first place. It's more built for getting in and out of areas quickly, which is the whole point of this thing. So let's actually talk about the weapon itself. The regular ink brush is unlocked at level 5, has a splat bomb and a splashdown. The ink brush Novu comes with an ink mine and a baller unlocked at level 7, and the permanent ink brush comes with a sprinkler, ink armor unlocked at level 12. Something pretty interesting about the ink brush itself is that the art book for the first game mentions that the ink brush is a tube that contains the ink. The Inklings themselves actually need to replace them every 10 matches because they get dirty fast. It doesn't really impact the gameplay that much, but it's just a very fun detail to point out. But now let's talk about the weapon that I actually care about, the Octo Brush. So you may have noticed over the course of Let's Play, I've been using the Kensa Octo Brush a lot because I really love this weapon. So the Octo Brush, it is slower than the Ink Brush, so it's not really all that built for speed, but it is great for combat because it only takes 3 slashes to actually defeat the opponent, and it has a wider range of attacks, so this is definitely a great weapon to use if you're planning on getting up and close and personal with your opponents. I love the Octo Brush, it's one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. So there are a few versions of it. There's the regular Octo Brush, comes with an auto bomb and an inkjet unlocked to level 10. The Octo Brush Novu comes with the Squid Beacon and Tenta missiles unlocked to level 15. And this one is pretty interesting because the Octo Brush Novu actually released alongside a Japanese tradition. I believe it's called Kakizomi. I might be mispronouncing that, but it's basically a tradition revolving around Japanese calligraphy. So that's for something that's pretty interesting, because I believe the brush is supposed to be based off a calligraphy brush in Japan. The Hero Brush replica comes with an Auto Bomb and an Inkjet unlocked at level 10. This one you're also going to need to complete every level in Octo Canyon with the brush to be able to buy it in the store, so just keep that in mind. And the Kensa Octo Brush comes with a Suction Bomb and an Ultra Stamp unlocked at level 20, and this one is my favorite because we get to use the stamp, and it is just so much fun. Of all the weapons in Splatoon that uses an Ultra Stamp, this is easily my favorite because it's easy to use, it is great for combat, and the Ultra Stamp is just so much fun. I especially love throwing it at the end of the attack. And that's pretty much everything I have to say about the ink brushes, because that's all of them. There aren't really a whole lot of brush weapons in this game, and that's something that I kind of hope that Splatoon 3 changes a little bit, because I'd love to see more variety in the actual brushes themselves, outside of just a traditional ink brush or Octo brush. So, next episode, we're going to start talking about sniper weapons, more specifically the Splat Charger. I don't know if we're going to be talking about any other weapons besides that. We probably will, but I don't know at the time I'm recording this video because I can't see the future. I feel like this is a running trend of everything that I've been saying throughout this let's play. And oh no, we lost the lead. How could we do such a thing? Alright, now we've got the Rainmaker, so let's see if we can defeat them. I haven't actually watched this footage before recording this commentary yet, so I don't actually remember how this match ends. It seems like when James and I were recording this, we recorded a huge chunk of the stages we haven't seen in the online multiplayer yet. We recorded a huge chunk of them, but not every single one of them. And it kind of seems like we went back and forth between who was winning and who was losing. It wasn't quite even because, if I remember correctly, he was winning more matches. But that's just something that's pretty interesting. By the way, I liked that one strategy they did a moment ago where he used the Rainmaker to take control of the ink rail so that I couldn't actually use it. That was a pretty good strategy. So if whenever you're playing on Rainmaker, that's actually a really good strategy to use to try to activate the ink rail so that your opponent can't use it. It will slow them down and it will make it so that you can have plenty of time to actually get to your objective without having to worry about opponents taking away your victory or anything like that. One thing I will say is that I'm not a big fan of Rainmaker on this stage. I don't like Compact Pump Track to begin with, but of all the stages in this game, Rainmaker is probably my least favorite mode to play on this stage. Because the thing is, at least with Clam Blitz, even though it is a bit of a linear path to get to the basket, you at least have options. But with Rainmaker, it's pretty much only one direct route to the goal. So you're either trying to struggle to get over there, or you get to the lead and then you stall the rest of the match. There's really nothing all that really fun about this mode on this stage. And I apologize for saying that because I know a lot of people do like Humpback Pump Track. This is just one of my least favorite stages in Splatoon. I rarely have anything positive to say about this one, and I do apologize for that. But the match is almost over, so let's see if we can claim our victory. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, blue gum. And we lost, how unfortunate. So that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, so thank you all so much for watching this video, and until next time, later gear to you. Oh yeah.